right, man, it's finally a nice week, and it's in the 50 this whole week, so I could get started on this car. Finished most of the project. It's actually a VVT that is an automatic that I converted into a 5-speed. The whole process is already finished. The whole wiring's already finished. It's a little challenging since it's a VVT. It has the immobilizer and all the issue that comes with that, but there's a way to bypass that. And I got my fuel hose. That's the last thing I need to add on that. And with this one, this project is getting a full paint job. It's been sitting here since the winter. It's a little dusty and dirty. So be on the lookout for this one. I'm painting the whole car, installing a turbo kit in here from Kraken. Have everything on file already, so it's ready to go. Just got to do the work. It's been sitting for so long. Look at it. The rotor is rusted. It's been a couple months. Look at that, since the winter. But this is a special edition 2000 NB. Has all the upgrades. The Torsen 6-speed. Has the wooden steering wheel, handbrake, and shift knob. Oh, another thing I want to mention about this car is that check out the taillight. These are LED taillights made by 2S Performance. This is their first version prototype by the guy named Ed. This taillight looks amazing. He did an amazing job with this. I recommend it if you got an NB2. Get those taillights. They just look amazing. I'll turn it on once it gets dark, but now that's how it looks like in the daytime. And if you look real close, you can see all the patterns of LEDs in there, and it's really bright too. So, and it has the ring around the red ring right here. So yeah, check that out. I actually did a install video of this, so you can check out my other video if you want to see that. All right. So, put this up real quick. So everything's pretty much finished. Just got to connect all the wire and harness, the intake, the radiator, put some fluid in there. That's pretty much it. The only hard part about doing the swap is actually wiring up the transmission from automatic to 5-speed. Pretty much finished with everything. I had to run 2 wires. Hold on. Everything's pretty much finished. It's just that I have to put everything together and run a couple wires. So this wire you see down here is actually to the neutral switch, I think. And one is for the reverse light. And you bypass the shift interlock. And that's about it. And you know, put your oil back in, put your dash back in, and that should be it for the 5-speed swap. The other thing to consider is the you would need a manual transmission ECU along with the immobilizer security, because the ECU and a mobilizer are interconnected together, so they need to be paired for it to work correctly. But I'm bypassing that issue with using a standalone ECU. So that's one way to bypass that, and you don't have to worry about that. So that's just a pro tip for me. Everything else should be pretty simple. And the other thing is, let me try, hopefully you see it through that. And the other thing is the clutch pedal. You gotta get that, okay? And if you're not getting the brake pedal with it, what I did was I cut it in pieces. I cut it in half right here, so that way it's smaller, because the automatic transmission brake pedal is really wide, so it might hit your clutch pedal. So go ahead and just cut it in half like that. It's a lot of room anyway to step on it. So, and that's it. That's all you need to do this 5-speed swap on a VVT. It's not as hard as people say. People make it like it's a big issue, but it's not really that hard. The only hard part is figuring out the wiring, and looking through the wiring from the manual and just convert it from the automatic to the manual and just convert it there. But I get it started and soon. But for today, I'm just gonna enjoy the other car, because I haven't driven that for a month. So I'm just gonna install the battery and drive it today. Okay, here's a cup holder I bought from Amazon. So these are universal, I guess, but they do make them for the Miata one. So this is more cheaper if you buy from Amazon than the one they make for Miatas. It's about $30-40 cheaper, but I'll tell you what, it works. All you have to do is do a little modification to it. All I did was trim the edge of the bottom right there. Trim the edge of the bottom, and then you just install it really quickly. So you slide it up here, and that's all it needs, and it's pretty secure. Put drinks in there without it falling off, and that's the same thing as the one they sell directly for Miata, but a little bit cheaper. So that's a cool little thing if you like to have a cup holder in your car. Since the car has been sitting for a while, what I'm going to do is just check the oil, check the fluid, check all the good stuff before I take it for a spin. And I don't know if you guys have your car sitting for a while or not, but if you do, a good thing to do is just to crank the engine and let the fluid circulate into the engine before you actually start and running the car. You'll see the new turbo kit, the new Kraken turbo kit installed on this soon, and I'll make a series of how to install it properly and painting the full car. So stay tuned, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to paint the full car also. So now I'm going to circulate the fluid inside the engine, and a good way to do it is to actually pull the fuse out from the fuel injector, which is the second one from the right. All you have to do is lift this up, removed it. Now you can crank the engine and it won't start. So you want to crank it a good 10-20 rounds. That should be good, I think. Now go ahead and put the fuse back in. Fuel pump, fuel injector fuse. Ooh, I heard it click right there. I forgot to turn the key, but it should work because it's clicking. Turn the key off, turn it back on, let the fuel pump prime, and now start the car. Look at that, 2 revolutions to start, and it sounds great. Oh yeah, these lights, daytime running lights, are install I did earlier. They're made by a company. I guess I put the link on the description, but it's pretty cool. It just turns on by itself. Whenever you're driving the car, it turns on by itself, and then whenever you're hitting the signal, you know, it activates like a blinker. So that's a pretty cool mod for a daytime running light. And let's go ahead and turn on the brake light and show you that brake light earlier. That's not the brake light, that's just the parking light. And it's really bright, but I can't do it by myself. But the middle part is actually the turn signal, and the side is the brake. And the LEDs are really bright. Right now it's like broad daylight, and a lot of time people install these LEDs. They use low quality LEDs, which is not bright at all. Even for the LEDs for these daytime running light are really bright. Like you can see it in the daytime. So you want to use quality LEDs where people can see you. Oh, I forgot to mention a couple things. So the headlight, I did a restore on this, so it's pretty cool. It's nice and clear now, but it's a little dirty. And also black out the lens and put a projector in there. And I'm not sure if I did a video on this, but this is actually a brand new aftermarket fog light that Mazda use from Hella. Hella is like a lighting company brand, but they actually use their lens, but they still sell these brand new. But the only problem is the mounting is upside down, so you have to flip it upside down. But they're same exact thing as the Mazda OEM one because they use Hella lighting company. So those are actually factory fog light that I added a LED lighting on it. But yeah, that's some cool little mod there. If you got an NB1, you could get that Hella lights and it will be exactly the same as the Mazda OEM one right there. So I'm gonna let the engine warm up a little bit, then take it out for a little spin. It's been a while, so stay tuned, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna do a lot of more Miata content, paint, full turbo kit install, engine removal, a whole bunch of other projects. Oh, the off-road Miata is still in the works. Midnight Runner Miata is mostly completed. I'm working on a little arrow on it at the meantime. Please subscribe and stay tuned. A lot of more Miata content coming soon. We are back. Just want to show the tail light real quick at night. Gonna hit the signal. That thing is bright. It's really bright. Then I can't hit the brake for you. It's another cool thing. The fog light is actually dual color. So now it's white. So if I hit the switch again, it turns to yellow. If I hit the fog light switch, Now it's turned yellow. Like a golden jadium yellow. Alright, that's it for the video. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe to Hyperspeed Media YouTube チャンネル